My name is Pat O'Neill, and I've got the task of just quickly reviewing the agenda for the next 2 days with you. The leaflet, hopefully at this stage all of you have got. If not, it's available over by the books, which gives you the outline. Okay, so that's it. I'll hand you over to Dominic, who will get the proceedings underway. Thanks all.
I'd like to welcome everybody here who came out here tonight for the launch of the festival and the launch of John's book, which will take place immediately after it. A special word of welcome to all our visitors from the USA and UK, for any of them who are in the room. I'd like to say a word of thanks to Tim O'Connor for agreeing to launch the event, and of course Linda Stevens and Campus Life Services. As I said, Tim O'Connor is the Vice Chairman of Limerick City of Culture, and I suppose Tim is responsible more than most people for the fact that the Bring Your Limericks to Limerick contest is now an international event. He encouraged us to get to do this about 2 years ago and to raise our local event into something bigger for the Gathering Festival last year. He introduced me to Linda, and she included us in the Talton New Gathering Festival. And this year we're kind of going it alone, trying to stand it up in itself by a festival, as a festival in its own right. So enjoy yourselves for the next couple of days and take part in as many events as you can. As Pat mentioned, we have some really world-class authors in Donal Ryan and Paul Lynch doing readings and workshops. And all these people have very strong connections with Limerick. So I'd like to welcome Tim O'Connor, as I said, Vice Chairman of Limerick City of Culture, to the podium and to officially launch the proceedings.
It's a great honour to be here to open this fantastic festival, and I want to thank Dominic Taylor and indeed Linda Stevens for inviting us to do this, because this festival is a key part of the great year we're having in Limerick here, Limerick City of Culture, a national project, and so on behalf of the board and the chairman Pat Cox and our great director Mike Fitzpatrick and the whole team, we're delighted to be part of this. So I'm going to finish with actually a bit of good Irish word, chutzpah. I'm going to finish with a kind of an indulgence that kind of comes from having turned 60 a few years ago, and the file is called Because I Can. And it's going to be, I'm just going to finish with my own attempt at a limerick to honour Dominic Taylor, our driver here. So Dominic doesn't know this is coming, and this could really fall flat in its face, but sure, what the heck, Dominic? You're not going to be too worried anyway. And I want to tell Pat O'Neill I'm not entering it into the competition, so there's no conflict of interest involved, and you'll understand when you hear it why. So the only thing I need to do to set it up is that, you know, as Dominic said himself, so last year with the gathering, we kind of, the Bring Your Limericks to Limerick idea got a bit of a further boost. So that's all you need to know. So here goes. There was a young man named Taylor who said, the gathering was no trailer. Yes, last year was tremendous, but this year will be stupendous. And one thing not an option is failure. Thank you very much.
We're just going to go straight into the first event of this year's festival, and that's John Liddy's the launch of John Liddy's book, The Secret Heart of Things. And John has given extraordinary commitment over the past 40 years to poetry. And we're here tonight to launch his 9th collection, The Secret Heart of Things, into his 60th year. The Limerick Writers Centre decided to make a little documentary on the life of John Liddy and his work. And I'm not sure if we should watch it now or watch it later, but who wants to watch it now? Yeah, okay. John actually hasn't seen it, and it's really just, it's hot off the press. And I'm waiting for someone there maybe to turn it on.
The secret heart of things. It was an essential part of daily life which received heartening, heartbreaking news, and those with hearts of gold or hearts of stone in its vigilance were ignored or praised, sometimes flanked by JFK and John the 23rd, or accompanied by the household's heart-rending allegiance to a particular Irish revolutionary.
We're delighted to have with us Dr. John Logan, retired Professor of History from UL, who will officially launch John's book. So please give a warm welcome for John.
Dominic, the book you have produced for us falls into three parts. And the first part, as you know, is strongly historical in the sense of they're placed chronologically. They start in the first year of his life in 1954 in the place of his birth in Youghal. And they come right up, bring us right up to his 60th birthday, to the inauguration of our Uachtaráin na hÉireann. And in between, it follows an extraordinary range of memory, of trying to remember, and explaining to us how difficult it is to remember. Am I getting this right? This is the question he asks constantly.
Enough. To know you were loved for a time, felt the breath of another, hands that tucked you in, loved at least yourself, alone in love, with no return, but the certainty you once loved, as when you sat on a park bench with spring rise blocking the sun, warmed by a passing glance, or the brown-eyed one who reeled you in like a salmon, brought you over the weir to spawn.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Caroline Graham, and it's my very pleasant duty to come here tonight and to welcome Donna Ryan.
I think I'll start by reading a very abridged version of the first chapter of Spinning Heart, because even though Bobby Mahon is a quiet man, he goes on really in this chapter, a bit too much probably. I'm not sure why we made it the longest chapter in the book, because he's the quietest man in the book pretty much, but there it is in a way, it's the way it was. My father still lives back the road past the weir in the cottage I was reared in. I go in there every day to see as he did, and every day he lets me down. He hasn't yet missed a day of letting me down. He smiles at me, that terrible smile.
Really grateful for a wonderful reading. Not just that, but I think your answers always, they're very good, well thought out, reflective answers, and always a joy to listen to you.
Thanks, Carl. I've been muddled it at times.
No, they're absolutely excellent.
And I've completely forgotten what I wanted to say to you.
I'll be honest with you, everybody. I have recently been made redundant from my relationship. I know. Thank you. It's just so nice. And the only severance I got was loneliness. It's sad, isn't it? What's that?
It'll pass.
It'll pass. Thank you. Oh.
I have a little boy now. He's not mine, but I have him. I'll tell you how I got him. I was in the shop the other day, and there was a little 5-year-old boy there with his mother, and everything he saw, he went, "Ma'am, I want that, I want that." She went, "No, you shut up now." She said, "I want that one, I want that one." She said, "If you don't shut up, I'm going to give you to that hairy man over there." Well, the kid couldn't keep his mouth shut.
Thanks for coming, and I'm delighted to welcome John Liddy. He's our first poet our writer in residence for City of Culture 2014. Okay, I'd like to welcome you all. My name is Dominic Taylor from the Limerick Writer Centre, and I'm delighted to welcome Paul Lynch to conduct this workshop here in UL. Paul is probably Limerick's latest worldwide acclaimed author. He has 2 books to his credit, Red Sky in the Morning and The Black Snow. And there's a special offer on them. Anybody wants to buy them outside there? There's 2 for 20 or something like that. It's a discounted price anyway. I haven't read both books myself. I read Red Sky in the Morning, and it's a fascinating book. It depicts a world, a Hobbesian world, I suppose, where life is solitary, brutish and sharp.
My name's Richard English, and I live in England, in West Sussex, down towards the south coast. I've had an interest in limericks for many, many years, and I'm one of the founder members of the OED ILF, the Omnificent English Dictionary in Limerick form, which is probably the most eccentric product in the history of lexicography. Did any of you get joining instructions? No. Well, in that case, I'm going to put a retraining corporate pen. And this is...
Welcome you all here to the Pavilion in UL, to the launch of Chris O'Flynn's edition of Drunken Teddy and the Bishop Lady by the Bard of Thomond, Michael Hogan. I'm absolutely delighted to be here today, and especially to have the Limerick Writer Centre involved in bringing this publication to fruition. And I'm going to ask another local writer and historian, Maureen Sparling, to actually officially launch the publication.
Now, while Dominic takes care of the slipway before we launch this, Christor has written up to, I would presume, about 60 books bilingually. Majority of them would be in the English language, but he is totally proficient on Gaeilge, and he left Limerick in around the 50s, I think, and he is domiciled in Dunleary, but he has never lost touch with Limerick, but in particular the parish where he grew up.
But if Mahmoud Maureen, you know, listening to that girl, that she's a poet. She speaks in poetry, although it's supposed to be prose. But if Mila Mahmoud, and in case I forget, I join her in thanking the Limerick Writers Centre, without whom the book wouldn't be here and you all wouldn't be here listening to me. We're tied to time, I believe, and as my friend Polonius said long ago, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness its limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Of course he wasn't. And we're launching a new edition of Drunken Teddy and the Bishop's Lady. Composed by Michael Hogan. I don't know exactly what year, but he published his Lays and Legends in the sad year of the Fenian Rising. For the 3rd time, God, you're an awful crowd. God of me and Mahawith, and Tasulibum, Kamula Midlakela Arish, Lacoon of Day.
$2,000 check, authentic antique check, traditional Irish slide trombone check, I was in Norway, good, bad or indifferent, in breach of the trade descriptions act. In fact, I was being 100% accurate. Sources know you.
Bring your limericks to Limerick. Yes, indeedy. And I was here last year and there was a fabulous response. And also, Let's be brutally honest, lads. There's €1,000 up for grabs. Can I get a woohoo? It's €1,000. It's 200 a line. It didn't take you that bloody long to write it, all right? So 200 a line, possibly €100 a word, depending on your scansion. So without further ado, let me introduce you to our judges. So without further ado, could I please welcome finalist number 1, Roisin Noonan. Roisin, you're up. Come on, Roisin.
Well, Limerick is 2014, bringing magic that's never been seen. So with this little ditty, rise up, love your city, it's time to be proud and be green.
Conor Sheehan from Ireland, please. Conor, you're up.
If you dread the approach of civility and the loss of your mental agility, blow those cobwebs away, write a limerick each day, and achieve inner peace and tranquility.
A most unusual bee had not one leg, not 6 legs, but 3. Pollen gathering on blossoms, his efforts were awesome. What a talented bee amputee.
And now, Denise O'Shea Griffin from Ireland. Denise.
To all the poets from days of yore, glide your spirits through earth's door. To you well do descend, your ears do lend, and listen to Limerick's galore.
And, ooh, see, I told you it was international. I told you. I did, didn't I? A few times. Can we call on, please, Brett Bard, all the way from South Africa. South Africa.
When customary marriages perplex, polygamists don't let it vex. For now we can marry Tom, Dick and Harry, but that doesn't mean there's more sex.
And now, can we move on to Newt Skinner? Newt, you're up.
A nympho whose name is Rose has erogenous zones on her toes. Therefore she feels she must walk on her heels lest she come whenever she goes.
So ladies and gentlemen, there are your finalists for Bring Your Limericks to Limerick. Give them all a big round of applause. As I say, first prize is €1,000. Can I get a woo-hoo?
We desire, but can't you see that we have gone as far as we can get, and our patience is exhausted, said our limericks, so be it. And we'll raise our red flag high, and our spirit will not die, and we'll walk with heads held high as the bishop passes by. No, we will not doff our hat, no, we will not.
In third place, who will receive later, not tonight, because somebody forgot the checkbook. Jennifer Allen, €100. Well done, Jennifer. Could you come up here, please, Jennifer? Come on up. Come up. But in second place, please give it up for Sheila Sugru. Sheila.
Which camera am I looking at, by the way?
And now, for the winner of Bring Your Limericks to Limerick 2014, Limerick City of Culture. Should I try? Tension. Please give it up for, and I've already been corrected a few times tonight, Knut Skinner! Knut, up you go.
No poem of mine has ever made this much money before.